Well, my friend, I feel like we've been doing a good job on the that whole process in general with the whole if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of deal.
If
So
the shit ain't broke, don't fix it.
absolutely. So with that wonderful intro, why don't you go ahead and tell us what we got going on today, David?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Uncommon Man podcast. If you already don't know, I'm David, my boy Mike, and we're just going to roll into our kind of weekly yap session. Me and Mike, we're pretty busy guys. I mean, we work a ton. There's a ton of shit that we're doing and working on and different things like that. So when we do have a chance to get caught up with each other, I mean, this is our weekly yap session. And the only difference is we're just doing it live versus doing it over text.
That is correct. So
What's been going on with you, man? Mike has been the one that's been the most busiest out of the two. So
I
come
want
come on, man. What's been going on out there in your world?
to do some like complete cop out motion with my head right now, just like tilt it back and just scream at the sky like
Uh.
some bad '80s song. Hero. No, so David's been on the money with all this, and I have just been a complete cop out the last 2 weeks. I mean, I've been moving two houses, as you can tell by the backdrop. I'm not in my own place right now. I'm actually up in Kansas. So, dude, in the last week, so Wednesday we left with a U-Haul from Kansas. So we came up on Tuesday night at 5 o'clock when Brittany clocked out of work. We came all the way up to Kansas. We got here 9 o'clock in the morning. We slept for about 4 hours, loaded a 26-foot U-Haul, left the next morning at 6 o'clock, and we got back to the house. We unloaded the house on, what would that be, Friday, and then we turned it back in Friday, and me and my dad cannonballed back up here again Saturday morning at fucking 7 o'clock, and we've been here ever since, just doing stuff to upkeep this house. You and I have talked about investments. This is their rental property. I've already got my own going. They took my advice, which God bless them for it. It's a brilliant decision they made. And they're turning this house here into a rental property, and their house is way nicer than what I got going on. But I mean, they've also got a hell of a lot more stabilized income too. So, but yeah, so that's what we've been doing over the last couple of days, and it's my fault. I've completely copped out. We've been dropping the ball on this shit. David's been sitting here waiting for me to uncork my head from my ass and clock in, so that way we can sit here and give you guys a little bit of content. But so that's where I'm at, buddy. I'm sorry for verbally waterboarding you. Why don't you go ahead and update me where you're at?
You're good, man. Man, really nothing as much has been going on my front, man. Just dealing with the everyday home life. I mean, that's really the only thing that's been going on. I had the weekend off, so I just had time to just sit back, relax, and just hang out with my family, and just that's it, man. It's just I work so much to where when I get that time, that downtime to just sit at home and relax with my family, that's what we did. And throughout this whole quarantine and shit being shut down is it's been good because instead of like going to the movies or going out to the restaurant to eat and stuff like that, we actually, I mean, I sit down and I spend time with them. Like my son, he's a big basketball player. So I took him out, in a lot of the basketball courts and things like that where I'm at are still shut down. So, I mean, we went to a random parking lot and we got out there and I just made him just go through drills and basketball drills over and over and over and over. And then Saturday night, me and T went downtown, Little Rock, and walked around downtown around the Clinton Library and stuff like that. They got it set up really nice. It's a lot of cool stuff to look at, like sculptures. I mean, you walk along the riverfront. It's pretty dope. Me and her, we'd like to do that pretty often.
And it's super accessible, dude. Like I mean, Little Rock is one of the. I mean, it's super little, but at the same time, like it's still. sections of it had that big town effect. So you can do exactly like what you were just talking about with the Clinton Library, where you can walk all the way
Yeah.
down to the bar section, but you can go across. You can walk down the river walk, and it's
Mm-hmm.
gorgeous until you get to all the taxis.
Yeah, all the homeless people and stuff like that. But I mean, other than that, man, it was a nice night. It was a cool breeze coming off the river. Didn't
Awesome.
didn't bother with anybody. I mean, you had a few people that was out there kind of getting, kind of the same feel that we had, was like, hey, we want to get out the house and kind of just walk around. We don't have to spend any money whatsoever, so that was really nice. So you just
Fuck
get out
yeah.
there and just be outside. You don't always like to be cooped up in the house, or when you do get out somewhere, you want to go to a store or something like. No, like if I get out the house, I want to be outside and not inside somewhere.
No, yeah, dude, absolutely. And that's, I mean, it's cliche at this point, but that's exactly what this podcast is about, bro. Is the fact that,
Mm-hmm.
like, as you can sit here and look at both of our statures, we don't sit around playing video games, man. It's no slight on anybody playing.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's no slight on you, but I mean, that's just not our forte, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, like today, the reason that we're even producing this as late as we are is the fact that I spent the last 6 hours having to sit there and change spark plugs on a transverse V6 for a family member here in Kansas before I was supposed to leave today and doing well. I mean, I guess it worked out for the best, but I was supposed to be doing this podcast on my phone driving on the way back from Kansas for you guys, and now you guys are getting a stable picture, so I guess you're welcome.
Yeah.
Because it's not on my phone on the fucking Prius on the way back.
And the Prius.
The Super Prius.
But yeah, Sunday, me and a friend of mine. Well, he's more than a friend. I mean, I'm not gonna shortchange him. Dude is like a father figure to me.
Awesome.
Me and him, we both went out. Lately, I mean, I've always been around guns. I've been around guns my whole entire life, as far as shooting them, properly maintaining them, knowing gun safety, gun training, and stuff like that. I've always been around it, and
Awesome.
we I have guns at the house and stuff like that. So me and him, we took him out. We went to this really nice range out here where we live. I mean, it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, but we went out there and we just shot. I mean, we just worked on getting precision and just technique and stuff like that. We just got this stuff down, so that was really cool too.
Killer, buddy. Dude, that's fucking fantastic, man. And
So I realized at 50 yards, I'm good at 50, but anything out beyond that, nah. I leave them shit up to them other cats.
so we've got a chunk of property up there, obviously by you. The one thing that we're going to be doing at the end of the season, once everything cools back down, we're going hunting. I'm taking your ass hunting. So whether you like it or not.
I mean, hey, bro, I'm all for it. I haven't been hunting since I was a kid. I mean, honestly, hunting to me is pretty fucking boring. But
do we ever stop being kids? I mean, we're just pretty much adult kids at this point. So
yeah, pretty much. So hey, man, I'm all for it. I'm all for going hunting. I don't shit on hunting at all. It's just
we're gonna sit.
I can't sit down long enough to hunt sometimes. So
dude, I thought that exact same thing. I don't fish, and I'm sure a lot of people are gonna crucify me for that one. But like, I can't stand fishing. One, I don't like fish meat, and two, I just think it's gay. But yeah. And not good gay, like gay, like shit and dick gay. So
let me cast my reel in the water.
Yeah.
And wait for an hour. Hopefully something bites.
Not even that, dude. Dude, some of those guys sit there for like 8-9 hours just waiting for a fucking like something that's gonna feed you for 5 minutes to come through and bite against the rod. It's like, dude, I mean, no. Like the cool thing about like hunting for deer and hog and shit like that is the fact that like you get to go sit down, and duck too. I mean, you got shotguns?
No.
Okay, well, I do, so we're gonna go do that. We're gonna carry everything, but at the same time, dude, like sitting there in a blind at like 3:45, 4 o'clock in the morning, just waiting for a deer to come by. Like, if nothing else, it's a great time to just sit there and chill, kick back in your camping chair and just sleep. Hope something comes across, and then just wait for someone to hear, boom, across from you. Because, dude, if someone
he would be that motherfucker. I would be sleeping in a chair, and Mike just going to rat off a couple shots while I'm sleeping in the chair.
Dude, I've been woken up multiple times. Bro, I was the ultimate anti-deer hunter. Like, I thought rifle was the most boring thing on the face of the planet until I got a little bit older, and I went out with a buddy, and I realized that, like, one deer, doesn't matter if it's a button head or like a 6-point, like, that one deer in and of itself is enough meat to last you for like a year. So
yeah,
it's fantastic, man. But the biggest deal about it is it's you and Mother Nature. You're on solid ground. You can just fucking camp out, hang out, and it's like, is something over there by the feeder? Nah. Fucking sleep. You ain't got anybody.
Yeah, here's something. That's a squirrel. Yeah.
Right. But shoo! Oh, okay. Well, it was just somebody just blowing off rounds over there. Probably Mike, because he's but
yeah,
dude. So
but yeah,
dude,
I'm all for it, dude.
Buddy, that's so fucking sweet that it's still honing your skills.
Yeah, man. Man. I think lately a lot of people have been buying firearms and stuff like that just because of the uncertainty of everything. But it's a tool, and you have to know how to use it. You have to know how to use that tool. I mean, you can't just buy the tool, set it in the closet, and think you're gonna be fucking John Wick when somebody comes through that damn door or somebody approaches you. No, I mean, you have to practice. You have to use that tool. You have to become a master with that tool. And, that's just something that I try to do. I try to be as proficient as I can with a tool.
Dude, I absolutely love your take on that, man. And you impressed upon a couple of things. The primary one would be safety, and the other one would be the fact of just the competency with the tool in the first place. So, and a lot of people are afraid.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, I get that. I mean, it's a fear aspect, because let's not kid ourselves. You are literally sitting there holding a Russian roulette tool in your hand, to where there's no real coming back from it. I mean, depending on where you hit somebody with that, like it's not like punching somebody. I mean, you can catch you to the temple and still be okay. You can't catch a piece of lead or metal to the temple and be okay. Like, you're not walking away from that. At least not coherent. So, like, you to whoever's listening right now, I mean, he's spewing words of wisdom, my friend. Talk to me, Moses. Part the Red Seas and give me more aspirations when it comes to talking about that.
Yeah, man. It's just, man, it's fun. It's a beautiful thing to learn. I mean, it's kind of like when, you and me got into martial arts, and it's just one of those things, like, I mean, you have to use it. You have to practice it. You have to practice the martial arts to become proficient. I mean, you're not going to be Jean-Claude Van Damme just out the gate. You have to hone in on the shit and just really just practice. And that's what I try to do, because I invested the money in it. So at least I can do is go out and try to become the best I can with it.
Dude, I'm so fucking proud of you, man. That's awesome. So
appreciate it.
Keep it up, dude. Like, I mean, that's the biggest deal about it. Just keep at it. That's one of those skills. No matter how old you get, like, there's no reason to not be able to just take your gun out, once a season, if nothing else, and just sit there and go to the range, blow through 50 to 100 rounds, and then just be like, all right, well, I mean, I feel pretty confident for the next year or so. What, dude? It's laughable, but at the same time, it's so true, because it's like, dude, just that 100 rounds is good enough to keep you proficient for the next 2 years. I mean, as long as you're not doing it drunk, in which case you probably need to go out the next week.
Right.
And
yeah, man. Like, there was a lot of old people out there, and they really, and like being around them, they really taught me something. Like, how being around, like, people who don't know what they're doing, they go to the range and they just rapid fire and just shoot a bunch of fucking rounds.
Me?
Yeah. probably us fucking dumbasses.
Me?
But dude, like we sat out there for literally like 3 hours, and the guys that were around me, I mean, they take one shot, boom, and they assess what they just did. They assess, they looked at their scopes. They look like, okay, I was low left. Okay, what can I change? What can I do again? Okay, let me put another one through. And they just, I mean, they really hone in on their skill. And so that's something that I really took away from just being around those kind of guys and just taking a step back and looking at what they're actually doing and their process of it. Oh, them fuckers, they hone in like a motherfucker when they shoot.
Yeah, dude, that sounds like you literally just broke down an art form. Like,
For some people, it is, man. I mean, because you got to think, some people that live in very rural areas and stuff like that. I mean, you knowing how to properly shoot a rifle is you catching a buck. You catching some venison, and bison, something like that. So, I mean, it's very fucking helpful for sure.
perfect, dude. You crushed it. I mean, because for a lot of people, that, like I said, that legitimately is dinner for a year. Oh, that brings me to another point. So right now, I don't know about you, but I'm all about supporting local, especially when it comes to like animals and stuff like that. For like,
Uh-huh.
um, I'm still on this carnivore diet. I've been fucked the last couple of weeks just because of what's been going on. I've been forced to be
Yeah.
on the road, and it's been killing me, dude. Like it's been clogging up my system. Like I have just been dying inside on a personal note from having to eat carbs and shit. But as soon as I get back, like I'm immediately going back on my diet. I was trying to do that in just that 3 day process of being back home, but like
Mm-hmm.
if anybody's watching this right now, I highly, highly advise and impress upon you the fact that you need to go buy local when it comes to buying your meat. If you guys do, if you guys buy steak, whatever, go get something from one of your local farmers, because our local farmers, they're starting to become a dying breed, and not because of the fact that they're running out of property. It's because of the fact that you've got so many outfits now that are playing middleman for them, and dude, they're scalping them. I mean, that's exactly what's happening. Like they're sitting there saying, okay, well, this calf or this cow is only worth this much money, or this chicken's only worth this much money, whatever meat product is only worth this much money, and we're only going to give you that. But we'll take the process of at least, putting it and selling it and expediting it to this store, this store, this store for this price, not your problem, because this is all we're going to give you. But when we go to the Walmart stores or the fucking Costco, like this is what your meat's going to cost. You're fucked, because you're getting a third of that. So you're getting a third. We're taking a 2/3 profit, and then we're going to sell it for another random, 2/3 profit as well. So right now, this is a force point for us to be able to support local customs, especially with our local farms, and go out and buy a calf or a deer. You said venison earlier. That's great. I mean, it's hard to find those just because of how unique it is to be able. Most of the people have to kill their own deer, but
Mm-hmm.
but at least like a calf or a cow or something like that, and you've got meat for a year for
Yeah.
$300. So just look in your local area. I cannot stress this enough. Look in your local area on Facebook, on Google. Find where your most local farm is, wherever you can process a meat product at. And worst case scenario, buy a freezer, like one of those
Deep freezers.
deep freezers. Thank you, sir. And
Uh,
throw meat into that, dude. I mean, it's a dream come true. You throw it on top of the smoker, man. I've got one of these Green Mountain Grill smokers, dude. This pellet grill. I'm gonna tell you right now,
Fucking fancy.
dude. When you come down here, baby, you'll never eat a steak the same way again.
Fucking fancy.
I got you, bro. I thought the Traeger was good. This Green Mountain
Uh-huh.
Grill, it's out
Yeah.
of the world. So
Oh, pellet grills.
yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but I think everybody in general, I mean, needs to support local community. You know, from like the beer that I drink, is it's all local, business owners, small business owners that put out a pretty fucking phenomenal product. And I mean, just to like, if you don't want to see small businesses die, fucking support them.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if you have an agenda to kill small businesses. I don't, but I mean, sometimes yes, it may cost you a little bit more, but dude, I'll pay for more for some conversation and some good fucking service than just clicking a button online and just getting my shit shipped to me. Like I got this, a place around the corner here that I buy a lot of my ammo and shit like that from. Man, there's some fucking good
The name of that
people.
place. Go ahead and drop it.
Fort Thompson, baby. Fort Thompson,
Baby, Fort
Sherwood,
Thompson,
Arkansas.
friend. You know,
Fort Thompson, Sherwood, Arkansas, baby.
I can't tell you how much money I've spent at that place.
Yeah,
Shout out to you guys. You don't know us from shit and shoved in it, but
right. I mean, like if I go in there, they're like, oh yeah, it's that fucking guy. He comes in at least a couple times a month and just buys some shit. But again, for some good conversation, some good customer service. I mean, I can justify paying a little bit extra versus order my shit from fucking Amazon and just clicking a button.
Yeah, I'm tired of that, dude. Like, I mean, this whole experience has been it's been a great opportunity for us to like really sit there and self-reflect on what our priorities are. And I feel like just with the involvement with this, and we don't talk politics, but at least we address what's important to us, and local business is important to us. So when you look at just what's been involved in this whole thing, I mean, we still care about the growth and community around us, and we both have a deep heart when it comes to taking care of the local farmers and whatnot around us. So to make sure that exactly like he said, dude, our Fort Thompsons, our local breweries, our local meat factories, all these things that are essential to us, but we don't really think about it. In the back of our head, it's like, oh, well, okay, well, this is easily accessible. This is the McDonald's of our meat world, so we can go get our fucking whatever we need to do and stay strictly to our diets because so and so has it readily accessible. Well, I mean that doesn't mean that it doesn't fuck somebody who is legitimately on the receiving end of this, and they're the ones that are getting screwed more than we are. So, yeah, like I said, this is a golden opportunity for us to. We've talked about investments. This is to invest in your future in the United States of America, and we
America.
Fuck yeah. So, we highly advise that you guys do this. And worst case scenario, like I said, reach out to us. We've impressed upon the fact that we are a community. Reach out to us. We can figure out where you're at globally from a logistics standpoint and help you find local, local tap sites for when it comes to anything you guys need. We will do that.
For sure.
Way to do that, just so that way we can make sure that we keep the greatest nation on the face of the planet, the greatest nation on the face of the planet. So
yeah. Man, hey. So did I tell you that? Remember, I was having an issue with my headlight, and it was kind of cutting in and out on me, and I was a shit like that. And we kind of narrowed it down to a few things. So apparently, it was the ballast that was fucked up on it, and so like miraculously, it came on and it started working. So I was like, oh great, I don't have to fucking spend the money. So I was like, I don't have to worry about tearing my front end, tearing that shit apart, and fixing it. But then the bitch went out again. So I was just like, oh, fuck. I was like, I probably should have broke down and just did it the first time. But I'm just going to wait because I hardly drive it. So I'm not in a rush to do it right now. So yes, my ballast did go bad and that was the issue. And so now I need to get that fixed.
So I got notified of something today. I need you to confirm for me, would you?
What's that?
How many spark plugs do you have on that 5.7 Hemi?
How many spark plugs I have on it?
Yes, sir.
I mean, bro, I don't just sit there and count my spark plugs, but I don't know.
You need to do.
I mean, I have no idea. I'm not even about to try to lie because I have no idea.
So you ready for the ridiculous bullshit story of the day?
Okay, let's go.
So I ordered 6 spark plugs today for a Transverse V6. And
Okay.
Transverse V6, if anybody's watching right now, you got to take the intake manifold off. You have to. If you want to access, the rear fucking spark plugs, you got to pull a whole fucking intake manifold off in order to be able to swap them out. So anytime someone fucks you over at the dealership or wherever you're getting this thing serviced at, yeah, that's why. That's why the labor is so expensive. If you're in Houston, I'll take care of you just because of the fact that that's what we do. But this lady's family, so we were going through, her whole car was just crapped out because every single one of the seals.
What kind of car was it on?
It was an '08 Mitsubishi Endeavor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we went in, dude, and as we were in the process of purchasing these fucking spark plugs, so the guy goes, well, you want to buy my spark? You know, I mean, they just do that whole joking conversation. He drops the dime on me. He goes, you want to buy my spark plugs too? And I was like, no.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, not particularly. And he's like, oh, well, I got to buy 16 of them. I was like, what, you driving a fucking Cadillac? What is this shit, dude? And he goes, no, I'm 5.7 liter Hemi. And I was like, wait, you've got 16 spark plugs on a Hemi? Like, I mean, I don't want to shit on you. I've never fucking heard that in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So this clown's sitting here telling me this information, dude. We get back to the house. They had given us the 6 spark plugs for this V6. 2 of them were brand new. I pulled the other 4 out of the case.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what they were?
What, they were used?
Used fucking spark plugs, bro.
Bro, let me guess, AutoZone.
No, it was O'Reilly's.
Oh, okay. Fucking O'Reilly.
Dude, bro, I've never had a bad experience with O'Reilly's in my life, but I'm sitting there.
Me neither.
Yo, like, dude, I'm pulling them out going, why is this not shiny? like look at this, that looks like carbon deposits. What the fuck is going on here? Dude, I went through all 4 of them. Not only were they not the right part, but they were fucking used. So some skimpy motherfucker had taken these things, put them back in the fucking boxes, and
returned them and got his money back.
Yes.
You shady cunt.
I honestly hope coronavirus killed that motherfucker.
That's dirty.
Dirty. I hope he walked out of whatever O'Reilly's he went to return those things, and as soon as he had grabbed onto the fucking door handle of his fucking piece of shit minivan, just went
boom.
Just dropped the fuck off, dude. That was the end of that clown.
Yeah, but fault to that guy that worked at O'Reilly that you didn't fucking check the shit as they returned it.
Yeah, there was. Don't get me wrong. There was obviously a lot of discrepancies in the system, but at the same time, like, fuck that guy, because dude, it takes a piece of shit personality to be willing to do something like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like to just be like, well, I don't understand. The rest of these spark plugs didn't work. It's like, yeah, okay, well, that's great. Send these to returns, kind of deal. So. But fuck the original guy for the fact that that guy was such a self-righteous cunt that he thought that he was owed that fucking $40 with the spark plugs. So that's what I said. Hopefully that guy, he went head on with the Mack truck if the coronavirus didn't kill him. So, and I hope you're not watching this because I hope you're dead. So
no love for this guy here.
Not even no love. No life. I hope no life for that guy.
Uh-huh.
That's what I bring to the table for that fucking piece of shit. Because I had to waste my gas to go the fuck back up there, grab new spark plugs, and have to sit there and be like, are you kidding me? Like,
sir, did you drive the Prius back over there?
So this is what we're doing.
Well, you didn't waste no fucking gas, so I don't want to hear that. You drove the Prius back over there. You wasted no gas, sir.
I specifically didn't mention that factoid, and you still crushed me for it.
Yes. Oh man. So when working on this transverse, I mean, so like relatively, how long did it take on change out the plugs?
So the average person, if you're watching right now and you're questionable about, you guys have a transverse V6 or I guess a V8 if you're driving like a 1965 Oldsmobile, or I guess like a fucking 2000 or 1998 Impala. But so a transverse engine, you have to pull a portion of the intake manifold off. If you take that into a dealership, man, just to replace the spark plugs, it's about
They're gonna kill you.
Yeah, it's $300 to $400. So,
Ugh.
and luckily for her, she's family, and I love the living hell out of her. But dude, it's a fucking nightmare, and the price. There's a reason they gouge you, man. It's ridiculous, but I get the labor aspect of it. But yeah, no, her car, dude, needed a lot of work. And it's been not on her fault. She is very good at upkeeping and maintaining the vehicle, but the people that she's paid for years have never actually told her exactly what's been going on with the car. So she's been ignorant to the whole process, you know? So she has no idea what's really been legitimately going on with her vehicle. She's been consuming oil, dude. Every fucking plug that I pulled out of this thing was just saturated. David, I'm not talking about just like, okay, well, this thing's been in here for a while and it's occasionally had oil drip into it. Bro, I'm talking you and I could both go off a diving board into her block and still have enough space left over to not have to worry about smashing our face against the spark plugs. Like swan diving one of the fucking valleys for this thing, dude. And people are like, oh, well, yeah, you're coming up on your, well, the computer says 25,000 mile mark for the spark plugs. It's like, dude, there's a 10 millimeter bolt. Pull the fucking plug out and see whether or not there's oil in the goddamn valley. Like, that's what the fuck's going on. So, yeah, dude, her car completely died off on her like last month. She was leaving out of a Walmart, not even a mile down the road from here, and her car stalled and shit the bed on her. And she kicked it off, kicked it back on, it fired up, and then she's been driving around on it ever since. She doesn't know any better, man. She's the average Joe, you know, the average person listening to this fucking podcast. And so she was sitting there telling me about exactly what was going on, and I was fault isolating my head, and I go, well, that's a fuel filter issue. And I called them up and I go, okay, well, this is a fuel filter problem. And the guy was like, all right, well, that's a fuel filter / fuel pump, blah, 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 blah. It comes out to like $250. So they order it, you know, kudos to O'Reilly's for the fact they were able to get it to us today if we needed it. And we go over to grab it. And in the process, I was like, look, I want you to go with me. We're going to take the car. I'm going to plug the OBD2 reader in it that they have over there because obviously I'm in Kansas. I don't have access to my own shit. So we go to the O'Reilly's. We plug it in. And all the codes that popped up on this motherfucker, it was a laundry list of stuff having to do with the ignition process. It had nothing to do with the fuel. So I was like, well, we need to replace the spark plugs because that's what all these generic codes are coming out to. It's like you got bad spark plugs. So we made it a mile and a half up the road to the next O'Reilly's. And we bought spark plugs there, obviously used. So we got the spark plug. Dude, that was the first thing I did because we were waiting for the fuel pump to come in. I pop out the first 3 fucking plugs, dude. One, it was like Little Red Riding Hood. It's like, well, this bear has been in this one. It has needed it. My porridge is nice and warm. This one is medium cold, and this one's super fucking cold. These two right here, dude, they were literally soaked in oil. Not even just wet. They were pools of oil inside of the fucking valleys. And I was sitting there, I look at her and go, fuel filter is not your problem. Dude,
You got something other than that.
bro, I pulled that intake manifold off.
Mm-hmm.
All three of the ones on the rear portion of the V6 were just soaked, just fucking soaked with oil. She tells me, she goes, "Oh, I've been putting a quart of oil in this for the better part of 6 years, 7 years." And I was going, dude, people, I love you, lady, and you have been getting taken. So screw all that. Your family, we're going to get this resolved right now. So we saved her a fuel pump just by replacing her spark plugs and as well as her valve cover gaskets on both sides of this engine. So, and we end up saving her not only in labor, probably about roughly around a stack, dude.
Yeah, because I was about to say, like everything that you're describing, if you would take it to the dealership, I mean, they would have charged up the wazoo just for taking different things off. Like, okay, now we got to fix this. Oh, I got to take this off and shit like that. Nah, that's a pretty expensive job.
Dude, yeah, and it just upsets me that they take advantage of people. But like they were mentioning me earlier, it's like, why don't you run your own? Why don't you do your own shop? It's like, because I don't want to work on people's stuff for a living, because there's no way that I'll ever give a shit about someone else's stuff when I'm put in a predicament where I have to get things done as much as I do my own things. That's why I don't do my own performance shop, like outside of on my own time. Like I'll take on one project at a time, and that's it. That's why I'm going and getting my degree for offshore engineering, because the fact that I love working on cars, it's what I do as a passion, but I don't want to fuck people, man. And there's so many people out there that are just like, oh, I gotta make them fuck around me. You know, doing that whole creepy fucking like Goldman Sachs bullshit where it's like, I gotta put this into my bank account anyway. It's like, fuck that, man. There's so many people getting screwed on a regular basis. Like, I don't want to do that, especially not people who I care about, you know? It's just unfortunate, man. But that's how society operates nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, like, that's a really good point. I don't know, man. It's just, like, I don't know. It just kind of baffles me. But then also, you know, like, I tell my fiance, because, like, I had to take a car to get an oil change. And she was just like, well, I don't want to take it to get an oil change myself. And yeah, I kind of understand there's some things that kind of, you know, I probably should do it. But at the same time, it's just, I want her to be able to actually put the pimp hand down on this little douchebag that's going to try to rip her off with, oh, well, you know, you need a tire roll change, a tire rotation, or you need an oil filter or air filter. You need this, you need that. Like, she needs to be able to bitch slap him, be like, hey man, shut the fuck up. I told you I want an oil change. Just give me my fucking oil change. You know, I think, you know, a lot of people, especially when dealing with people like that you know that you have to be a little bit kind of leery of, that you got to be able to, you know, just be pretty firm and straight up with them. Like, no, I don't want that. You know, no.
Yeah, she and luckily she has you, dude, because you're able to sit her on the straight and narrow. There's so many people who are taking advantage of it on a regular basis. It's just unfortunate because, like, well, I mean, it's not even like it's a matter of it's you know, they're taking advantage of. But I want to segue this into something that's really, really weighing heavy on my heart right now, and that's
Okay. Hockey. Hey man, I'll let you. Okay, I'll let you kick this shit off.
So what's up, sir? Am I gonna learn you a little bit about the world's greatest sport right now?
Hey man, educate me about the world's fifth greatest sport.
Fifth, I'm sorry, sir. You obviously you misspelled and misspoke about second greatest sport.
Whatever.
We're still gonna say football is the greatest sport.
Football is the greatest sport.
Football is hands down. That is, especially in the world's greatest nation, that is the greatest sport. But hockey comes up. So the cool thing about hockey right now, buddy, is the fact that they've done so much to try and exploit this in the United States and like really like kind of just change up the perspective on it. So obviously you're familiarized with March Madness, right? I mean, who isn't?
Yeah, for sure.
So you know that it doesn't matter if you're from you're from 1A all the way down to like 1AA to 2A. Like you can take like Wake Forest versus Duke in basketball, and I mean, I'm sitting there saying that was really massively uneducated of me, but I don't know any better. That's what March Madness means to me. I just think it's really cool when you get like highlights of someone sitting there saying, "Oh, number unranked blah 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 took out number 1 Duke, blah," that kind of shit. Number 2 North Carolina or number 3 Kentucky has been eliminated in the first round. I don't give a fuck about that shit. But at the same time, like, it's still cool to hear the ultimate underdog story. So
yeah, for sure.
So hockey's doing the same thing right now, buddy. Like,
okay.
So they have backpedaled with all this bullshit. They got screwed in March because they were in literally the heat of the moment when it comes to a handful of weeks left in the season, and then they would roll right into Stanley Cup playoffs. And fuck that stupid mosquito eater. Would you fucking die? Yeah, fuck you. God damn it. Fuck you.
This dude is literally fighting with a mosquito right now.
Mosquito eater, sir.
A mosquito eater?
That thing dead. Part of the corporate. Someone will steam clean that on Wednesday. But in the midst of all this excitement. But yeah, so, dude, they're taking – so the regular Stanley Cup – just stop drinking. But so the regular Stanley Cup is like the top 10 teams from each fucking division. Well, now it is the top. I say top 10. I think it's like top 8. Top 8 from each division. The first 2, it's almost like NFL playoffs. The bracket is the first 2 have a bye, and the rest of them it's like suck a fucking fat cock. You guys can deal. Well, now, dude, what they did was they literally did this like March Madness style, and they took the 24 teams out of 31. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys don't follow, there's an offset number there because of the fact they don't have enough of a following for 32 teams. But you guys can make that. You guys can make that.
A real uneven number, 31 teams.
Dude, the 32nd team's coming up in Seattle. Yeah, they'll be active as of next year. The Kraken, Seattle Kraken. So,
the Krakens.
Right. But if you guys are Avs fans, which I am, obviously this guy isn't because, he doesn't follow hockey, quitter.
Nah.
But the Avs, they will be playing for the way the actual NHL brackets is going to parlay. The Avs made the top 2. So that's right, that's right, folks. So our stink poo Colorado teams are doing pretty goddamn well this season. So the Avs have a chance to go to Stanley Cup as either 1 seed or 2 seed. So they played this out as a March Madness setup. They took the top 24 teams. So you got 12 from each division that's going to play against each other and let this all play out. But there's 4 teams that are going to with the first round bye. But those teams there's 2 different setups. They're either going to settle for those 4 teams in whichever way they ended the season points-wise is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, or they're going to let the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 from each of those divisions play against each other, and the rest of the teams are just going to have to fucking deal either way. The top 4 is the only one that's kind of like that up in the air process of where they're going to actually parlay and who they have to play against in the bracket. But the other teams are fucked. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as crappy as the Avs have been for years, Joe Sakic's got that team on a roll, and they're playing for the number 1 seed in the entire conference for the Pacific Conference. So,
was good. Hopefully, Colorado can start the sports off right. Then Denver Broncos follow right behind it. Then the Nuggets follow behind it. And shit, man, we just have a good year.
Do the Nuggets even have anybody at this point, bro?
Yeah, they got Djokovic.
Who?
Djokovic.
Who the fuck is that?
just like I don't watch hockey, motherfucker. Guess you don't watch basketball.
No, I know. So that's what I was asking.
Nah, he's just really good to play for the Nuggets. But I mean, hey.
So walk me through basketball, bro. What's going on with that shit?
Dude, I don't fucking know.
I don't feel bad now.
Honestly, like when it comes to like the NBA, dude, like I'm absent until they go to the playoffs. Then when they go to the playoffs, then that's when I pick up and start watching. I'm a very, very, very casual basketball watcher, but I'm getting more and more into it because my son is big into it. So I guess I'm getting more into it. I'm learning more. I mean, growing up, I didn't play basketball. You know. I didn't check that stereotype box. But nah, it's
okay.
but no, nah, honestly, I don't fucking know. I don't know what the fuck the NBA is doing or what they're gonna try to do to get shit back rolling or whatever. I believe they started reopening some facilities in some states that are more further along in the process or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, it's whatever they're going to do is not going to be anything close to what it normally is. I mean, I don't know how the fuck. Do what?
I should have reached out to you regarding NHL statistics before I should have with NBA. So.
I mean, dude, I just don't know because like you're so late into the. I mean, because you're about to fucking hit June, so I don't know how you can recover anything from the basketball season with it being so fucking late, especially like in the NBA. So I don't know. Fuck, who knows?
I'm the worst, dude. I don't even know NBA this like actually even exists until literally the playoffs because it's like.
Yeah, I'm the fucking same way. Like,
did the Nuggets make it? All right, well then I don't give a shit.
nah, like, dude, like there's a little bit that I follow just to kind of have some kind of competency when watching basketball. At least, I mean, if I feel like if I'm going to yell at my kid while he's on the basketball court, I should know fucking something about it. But
Yeah, it's called shoot.
I guess shoot, block out, rebound, something.
Hey, guy, make that. All right.
Well, all right, everybody. I think that concludes our weekly yap session. I got to get out of here. I mean, it's getting kind of late, and I got to get up and go to work in the morning. And Mike, you jumping on the road in the morning?
I got 12 hours of driving ahead of me, buddy.
What, now? Or in a few hours?
Absolutely not now. No, I've been drinking. So, yeah, in about 6 hours.
Okay. Well, all right, bro. Be careful. Let me know when you make it, when you touch down, and I'll catch up with you later this week.
I can do that, my friend. So, bye, buddy.
All right, man.
Tell the family we said hey. We'll see you guys soon.
All right.
Bye, buddy. Like.